All right, all right. Pushing a couple buttons just so I can kind of see what's going on here. It's 3 minutes after 7. I'm getting ready to start our monthly Lowcountry NORML online general membership meeting. Non-members welcome. Of course, I do not have my notes very handy here, and I've been sparse at putting together an agenda for today. I've had a whole lot of other stuff kind of on my mind today and since the last time we met. But I am going to start as I usually do. Welcome to the March meeting of Lowcountry NORML. All meetings are an environment of education and awareness and are not an open market for the sale, purchase, or distribution of cannabis. We do not encourage or condone illegal behavior in any way. As usual, I like to start with our national legislative news. Unfortunately, I was just kind of doing some searching on that right now. I know Cory Booker has just, I guess, reintroduced the Marijuana Justice Act. One of the important points with that particular legislation is that they're looking to expunge records of people that have been convicted for possession crimes of marijuana. And I believe, I have to check that one, that may only be federal charges. And the problem with those happens to be only about 5% of marijuana charges, possession charges are federal level. That I may be mistaken though, that may be the bill that actually mandates that the states, the local, like district attorney's offices, do the expunging on the state level. So don't quote me on that one. I apologize for not being more up on that today. And also, I remember something from about a week ago, Kamala Harris reintroducing a bill that she had introduced before. But again, I have not done my homework for this meeting here tonight. Mostly what I would talk about state legislative news, and all of us know we have the two medical marijuana bills out there, S366, H3660. They are the companion twin bills for the Compassionate Care Act legislation. Relatively restrictive on who would qualify for that. Even Senator Tom Davis says it's probably the most conservative medical marijuana bill in the United States. And we have a couple of things we don't like about that, which is in the increasing the penalties, the harms to people that don't qualify but are still caught with small amounts of cannabis. And of course, the 5 years in jail felonies for cannabis that was diverted out of the dispensary system. Again, awfully harsh penalties for something that's safer than alcohol. And those are our two most prominent legislative bills in the state level for marijuana. The other is, of course, the medical marijuana bill, the Put Patients First Act. I've heard very little about that one on the news. I know they have a couple of co-sponsors, but I couldn't tell you offhand how many. That's one to follow up on. And again, the decriminalization bill at the federal level that we've talked about a number of times. Again, not happy with that because they've tied it with the reducing of penalties for methamphetamine and cocaine-based products, pretty much in essence killing that bill where it sits in legislation, probably in a Senate committee somewhere. But those are our two legislative bits of news. And again, I apologize for not being up on what's going on federal level this month. I'll try and do much better for our meeting next month. Check my calendar real quick while I'm talking about that. I believe that meeting falls just a little bit before 4/20. April meeting will be on the 16th of the month. Okay, hide the calendar so I can actually find where I was again. As far as chapter news, what's been going on with us lately is the push for the Decriminalize Charleston project, partnering with the Sensible Movement Coalition out of Ohio. Just watched some great videos and photos of the Sensible Movement Coalition group in Myrtle Beach this past weekend. They were ripping it up. They were collecting signatures. They are very confident that if we get this on the if they get this on the ballot in Myrtle Beach for this fall, it will pass without a problem. Some of the photos and videos were out at public events on, I believe, their beach or boardwalk, and police on bicycles and police walking nearby and not harassing or accosting them at all. It really looked like they were having a great time with it, and they were getting a lot of support up there. We'll be talking about a little bit more about that in our next meeting at 8 o'clock. What we're doing here, trying to reach out and again gather up coordinators and volunteers to get this project rolling. I don't know if you can see behind me. I've got a stack of petitions and clipboards and donation can stuff, all to be talked about at the next meeting. Of course, want to real quick show you the very cool, if anybody's watching video, the very cool stickers that we have on the back of these clipboards. Lets people know pretty much what we're talking about before they even get close to us. Other a little bit of fun for normal chapter news this month is, if you can see behind me, let me lean in the right direction. We have Senator Tom Davis here in his Hawaiian shirt holding a big old bag of, looks like swag, really, not good quality cannabis, but a propaganda piece that was sent out by the opposition, apparently trying to make the legislation look bad. I think they failed at their attempt on that. It got a lot of laughs, more so than taken seriously. From what I heard, it caused a lot more calls to go to Senator Tom Davis voicing their support than voicing displeasure in the legislation. So I don't think it really hit the target that it was looking to hit, but I was happy to be on the mailing list and getting one. As you can see, I proudly have it displayed behind me, and hopefully I get an opportunity to get Senator Davis to sign it for me. Otherwise, chapter news, I haven't, last week we were still in the, or last month should I say, we were still in the work on adding 2 new board members. We have Karen Sultan, who is our new secretary on the board of directors, and Ali Akari is our new communications director. We are just starting to get things up to speed with them. A little bit more with Ali. I see he's already gotten a quote from us in the Charleston City paper recently, and Karen will be getting up to speed with some things shortly. I've been dragging my feet on getting her connected to the right documentation and things, but we are working with it, and I'm hoping to again meet with her shortly and start scheduling our formal monthly board meetings, and again start getting our organization back on track and trying to change some laws here. Again, we'll talk about this more in the next meeting, but we have had some positive response on the decriminalization project. We have 2 retailers, one on James Island and one on Folly Beach, that are doing signature collections for us in their locations. We have been in touch with a DJ at a local radio station, and they are in the process, I guess, of bringing it to their marketing department to see if it's something that they want to discuss and promote on air. And I do believe they will at least be discussing it, some commentary on us in the near future, and getting the word out that way. So we're to get the decriminalized Charleston movement moving. We're really going to depend on as much as possible on free media, newspaper, radio, internet, blogs. We don't care. Anything to get the word out there. Find places where we can go and collect signatures. Our target is 30,000 registered voters that are residents of the city of Charleston. Town of James Island, city of Folly Beach, the numbers are much smaller, but the process is just this is exactly the same. So we're hoping to get those signatures and get this legislation or get these ordinances on the ballot for you to vote on this fall. Otherwise, take a quick peek here. I don't have a whole lot of other new news. Oh, I do, now that I see a note of it over here. I have a little piece of paper here. It came in the mail yesterday. Probably can't read it with the lighting the way it is. See if I can get this in front of the camera. Came from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. It is our final determination. We are officially a nonprofit 501c4 organization. It's retroactive back to our our founding back in, actually they have the date as December 16th, 2016. I'm sorry, December 14th, 2016. So retroactive. Doesn't mean we don't have to file tax forms. We still have to file tax forms, and that is probably the next big hurdle on my list. With that said, I'm going to reach out and again ask for any kind of volunteers, especially for our board. We're looking for a treasurer. So if you have mad math skills or a CPA even, you know, nonprofit tax law, we would love to have you on board to kind of help us along. Me, I do not know what I'm doing. I really don't. And that's why it's taken as long as it has to get our final determination from the IRS. I originally filed for a 501c3, but we do way too much political action, and this will now allow us to do direct lobbying without limits to politicians and really see what we can do to change the laws and not just sit back and claim to be educators. And that's really the difference between the two designations of 501c3 and C4. 501c3, you're very restricted on your lobbying abilities and your amount of political action. And that's where we were running in trouble with the IRS. They kept asking for new documentation and pointing out things on our website saying, this looks like political action, this looks like political action. And they were correct. We were actually very politically active, and we intend to be more so in the future. But now that that is sort of off my plate, tax season is nearing its end in just a few more weeks. So again, I'm going to probably have to file an extension for this year, but we will get this taken care of in the not too distant future. And we're finally back on track with that. So that I'm happy to report. The other thing, and I'm seeing it again in my little notes on the side from last month. Last month, our Facebook like numbers were 1,980. When I looked earlier today, I think we were at 2323. I don't know exactly what caused the big jump, but we had a huge jump earlier this month. One of them, I think, was 158 new likes in one day. Sometimes you seem to correlate with commenting on newspaper articles or newspaper posts from local media, and I'll post as our organization, and we seem to get a lot of activity that way. But boy, we had a lot of new likes in the past month, and thrilled about that. To follow up on that, if you know anybody that would like our page, why don't you go to our page and invite them to like it. The more the merrier. We're really trying to reach 5,000 now. Not happy with just 2,323 right now. Well, let's keep the ball rolling. And I did briefly mention our two new board members, and that Ali Akari was helping us get some new media publications and are published in the city paper. He's also working on a press release for us, and he will also start working on our blog and our newsletter in the next probably by the next time we meet. You should have that kind of rolling along. Roll that back a tiny bit. I don't want to put too much pressure on him right off the bat here. Those are kind of my hopes and dreams, but we'll see how it all falls through. One other board position is open that I didn't mention, and that is the deputy director. That position does require a fair amount of availability to pretty much mirror everything that the executive director does and be able to be a spokesperson if or when that the executive director is not available to do so. Next event on our list, our next meeting, as I mentioned, April 16th. Possibility of a 420 night at the Low Tide Brewery over on John Island. We're still kind of working on that, but and also also sent out an email today. There's an event on 420 at the Volvo Stadium. Gosh, I got to go look at our website because it was posted about on our website, and I forget what the heck who the band was. Dave Matthews Band. So I actually emailed the Dave Matthews Band and asked them to invite Lowcountry NORML there to collect signatures from cannabis supporters. We'll see how that flies. It's worked at smaller events once before, and we are reaching out to a couple of other bands as well, a couple of other gigs that are coming to the Charleston, North Charleston area. So I hope that you will see Lowcountry NORML out at these concerts when you're going out there, and that you come on over and you sign our petitions to decriminalize Charleston. And as we get done with Charleston, we're moving through the rest of the county. We'll be there in North Charleston. We'll be there in Mount Pleasant. We'll be all around the county. And after that, next counties, watch out. Here we come. That's about it for me this evening. I do see we have one viewer on. Karen's with us tonight. I just want to say hello to Karen. I'm not going to unmute you or anything at the moment unless you have something that you'd like to put in, some input you'd like to add tonight. I'm just going to watch for a moment, see if you, actually, I'm going to unmute you for just a moment here. All right, I should be able to hear you, Karen. Are you with me?
I think, yes, I am.
Oh, good. Anything to add tonight? I'm sorry again for being a little spotty and sketchy and unprepared, but any updates for us that you can add?
Not really. I've done some of the things that you've asked me to do, and we should probably go over that at some point.
Okay, we'll save that for another time. I'm going to kind of end this meeting for now, and we'll go ahead and get together on the decriminalization meeting starting in about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, right back here where we are now. So thank you all for attending. Don't forget to support our sponsors. If you can see it back here, thepotmeadow.com, and also Cloud9 Vape and CBD Shop down on Folly Beach. That's it for us right now. Lowcountry NORML, normalsc.org, signing off. Bye, all.